Hello everybody, and welcome to the 2SRL Assetto Corsa Competizione. I think I said that right, or ACC. It's much easier for my old brain to think. And yeah, this is the second race in the 2SRL Assetto Corsa League or tournament. It's a recently started up Assetto Corsa League. We trialled out the Assetto Corsa first game, and although it was quite enjoyable, I did take part in that one. Didn't get the following that we were hoping for, but we put the word out about getting on to the Assetto Corsa Competizione, and the guys have just followed. And my goodness, we are in for a treat now. We've got 24 drivers, all ready for a bit of race. Oof, as we have a collision already. We have a collision already between the Porsche and I don't know who that was. But yeah, so we're at the Brands Hatch, and if we can find somebody to watch, how does this work? We're at Brands Hatch. I will watch you go. And yeah, it was a bit. I know the guys were looking to get someone to stream for them, so I says I'll do it for them, no problem, because I'm not racing this season because I'm rubbish. And so I'll start off by saying, if there's any issues, guys, with the stream, let me know in the live chat. I'm kind of a guy that likes to keep in touch with whoever's watching, so if the audios are going alright, the audio levels are all up and down, let me know. If there's no audio at all, let me know. If you want to get anything in comments, let me know. Stick it into the comment section and I'll most certainly get it read out onto the stream. It's going to be a 10-minute qualifying session. We're already up to 7 minutes 45 seconds. 7-minute qualifying session and then a 45-minute race. Now, sorry, just the mic, forgive me. I haven't been really paying much attention to the Assetto Corsa League, so forgive me, everyone. So I'm not really up to speed of what's going to go, so I'm kind of learning this as I go along. But it's a 45-minute race. There's no pit stops, so it's just going to be 45 minutes of full attack racing. There wasn't a stream for the first race in Monza. However, our fellow very own Timo Brown, also known as Timo, did a highlights reel posted on the 2S server. If anyone's on the Discord server, you can find it there. And well, let's just say that there was quite a lot of usage going on. But the admin and the boss of 2S, Mr. Rene Bon, was doing a fantastic job in the Porsche. Followed by Mr. Stricter. That's the other thing I'm going to say also, get it out there. Any of you guys who are watching this back, really please forgive me. I am awful when it comes to these names. So I'm probably going to absolutely murder your names. But number 15 looked like Belen to me. That's kind of a funny name, but okay. Bejland. But yeah, I've also only just figured out how to work these controls, and for some reason it's not working for me because I want to watch. I want to watch the guy in P. There we go. I don't know how to select these guys. I'm kind of using shift and left and right just to try and click between the guys. So Mr. Sa is coming out. So currently P1 is Milos Martic as he jumped to the pits. Epic. Who will we watch? I don't know who to watch, guys, because I don't know who's who, and I don't know. Well, yeah, Mr. R. Van der Hooding. I believe that is a more familiar name to me would be Light Cruiser. I'm more familiar watching him racing the Formula 2 cars in the SLR League, where he is the undisputed champion in that league. I believe that is Mr. Van Hooding. He actually won the last race out in Monza. I don't want to say a luck of the draw. He did put himself there and he did a great job, but it was kind of being bossed mostly by Mr. Stricter, and Rene Bon, who's not with us today. But then Rene Bon lost it in the final chicane. I can't remember the track names, but he kind of ran over the curb a bit too much, which I've done myself in practicing this game, and got it sideways, and then he lost the lead to Mr. Stricter, who then himself actually did the same thing as well. And Light Cruiser, or Mr. Van de Hooding, or Den Hooding, I'm really murdering that. Please, apologies to any of you guys who are murdering your names. But yeah, he managed to get the race lead. Also, this guy here, Coty Hugo, was giving me a bit of grief earlier on. Let's run on board with him. I'll tell you what, we've got a great camera here. Will you see this? We're just currently watching Hugo now. There he is, turning the wee steering wheel. Yeah, he was giving me a bit of jip earlier. Asking me about how much fuel to put in the McLaren because I'm a McLaren driver, blah blah blah. I don't know. I just turn up and race, that's about it. Well, turn up and usually finish last. But we're going to run on board with him, try and get some kind of quality going on to this here. So we're going to run on board with Hugo as he's on his, I think he's on a hot lap. Yes, he is on a hot lap, and he's improved by 0.2. Now, I had to ask the guys what track are we on. It turns out to be Brands Hatch, and I know I have raced on this track before, but I have no memory of it. It's like when Gandalf turns up at that place, I have no memory of this place. That's pretty much me. That's old age, guys. I was 35 this year, so birthday wishes I'm hoping to be coming flooding in. As I've got my tea, guys. I'm armed with my cup of tea, and I am well resourced here. But yeah, Hugo was initially up, and he's now down on his time. So I kind of find these cars are much more harder to drive than the original Assetto Corsa, as we have a car off. That was Beljan or Bellend, or I don't know. I don't want to keep labouring it, but really apologise for you guys murdering your names. But yeah, so far we're still on board with Hugo, and he's nip and tuck on his current time as I think he's coming up to the finish line. Only he has improved just a fraction, half a tenth of a second, so he has improved, and it only puts him in P13. I'm also not getting many comments, so I don't know if we're getting many people watching. We've got 4 people watching, that's alright. We go. Currently P1 man is our very own Cursed. People might know him as in the 2S server, but Milosh to us. Milos Marta currently P1. Timo Brown P2. One guy did a great showing of himself was my fellow countryman in P7, Mr. Shane Power. Let me see if I can get Shane. See, look, I'm trying to skip through these drivers, but give me. There we are. Mr. Power himself, and he hasn't improved. There's also a fantastic camera angle you can do here. Oh, I tell you what I'm doing. I've got the basic HUD. I don't want the basic HUD. Here, forgive me. Broadcasting HUD. This is the HUD. This HUD is pretty epic. Look at those great times. Although, I don't really like those big names down the side. It's kind of a bit of a nuisance. I wonder, can I get them a bit smaller? Let me see if I switch camera angles. Nope. Excuse me. Yeah, but Mr. Shane Power was doing a great job last time out, and there was an awful lot of crashes happened in the Monza race. I think that kind of is to be expected, considering there is no pit stops, 0 pit stops. So a 45-minute race to the end. I don't know if I'm going to be able to speak for 45 minutes solid. I'm kind of known amongst the 2S ranks, and generally my poor wife Kitsune, kind of known for kind of just waffling on. Excuse me. But even I have my limits. I literally have no idea what I'm talking about. Literally have no idea who's who. No idea what the pit strategies is, even though there is no pit strategies. No idea what the best time is, so I'm sure you're glad you tuned in. But yeah, so if anybody give me an idea what kind of is a fast time for Brands Hatch, what is the kind of a pole time? I'm not getting any comments at the moment, so kind of depressing people already. But yeah, one guy I know who's very quick in this game is this guy, Mr. Push, the young man himself. I think he's 15, and he can do some crazy times if it's the right track. He can do some pretty mental stuff in the Assetto Corsa. So I'm sure we've got well, actually qualifying's nearly over. My goodness, I've been waffling for 10 minutes. 20 seconds to go, and we have Push. And is he on an improved lap? How can I get that basic HUD? Here we go. He's not improving. So let's just have a quick rundown. Anybody who's improving? Mr. Power himself, Mr. Shane Power, is not far off improving. Oh, we've got Novak. We've got Novak improving almost up to 0.2 of a second. Anybody else? Is there anyone going to steal? Anyone going to steal pole? Is Mr. Timo Braun? I just missed that. He is currently P1, so is Milos. How can I select Milos? How do I do it? So Mr. Bance does not like the T-cam. Or sorry, the the helicam. I thought the helicam was pretty epic, if you ask me. But yeah, look, I'm trying to slip between next car and next car, but oh, this is awful. I have only literally figured out how to do this 30 seconds ago, 30 minutes. But look, I'm trying to select Milos. Give me Milos. Where is he? Hey Wimps, I see Wimps in the chat. Wimps sees me absolutely murdering this session, but yeah, look, I'm switching between these guys, and it's just giving me complete random, and I would like to have seen Milos. Oh, there we are. There we are, Milos. So he's kind of nip and tuck on his. He's not improving, but he's not far off it. So let me see if we can get an. Oh, don't want that. Can we get an onboard? As he crosses the line, just not enough to beat Mr. Timo Braun. Mr. Timo Braun told me that he was rubbish at this game, and yet I didn't believe it, and I was wise not to believe it. Have we got anybody else? I can hear people on track. That is it. The session has ended. And we have Mr. Timo Braun, P1 with a 124.1. Right on his heels is Milos Martiga, P2. And then I thought there was, I didn't get to quite see the time there, but there was a little bit of a gap to P3, Mr. Shah? Or Shah? Yeah. In the chat here, Bance says he's got to get going. It's a pity I haven't got Mr. Bance on the on board with us. I was looking forward to kind of streaming him, seeing what he could do, because like I said earlier, he did a fantastic job in the last race in Monza, and just a bit of unfortunate jumping over that curb, getting sideways, but he did recover well to a P3. Now, I don't know what they're saying here in the chats. I'm doing 90 Hugo IDK, and what is that? What is that? Liters? Maths? Oh, how much fuel he's asking. Oh, he's still going on about Hugo's still going on. I would have thought Mr. Hugo would have figured this out by now. But yeah, we see the guys in the chat there discussing the correct fuel. So it's nice to see that they're all helping each other out and offering the advice. I mean, goodness knows I can't tell anything. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I am here on my own, Tipsy Bob here on my own, having to wing it for the next 45 minutes. God help you all. Yeah, so I think normally what we're used to in these streams is seeing the guys with a standing start, but from the last time out, from what I've seen, it was actually a rolling start what we do here. A rolling start, and into the turn one is going to be interesting. I know the turn one in Monza was quite chaotic, especially at the back. I think Hugo got caught out, and there was a car I think missiled in between first and third place. And yeah, by the way, the comms channel is open. If anyone is welcome to join me, they are very welcome. But yeah, so I don't know, is there a formation on that? How does this go? This is all new to me, guys. All new to me. It's literally gonna. Oh, it is. Is it a standing start? No, it's not. Session has ended. So, can I get some info, guys? Here, what's happening? Does this go away or what? Surely it goes away. So, oh yeah, there we are. Can I get? We'll switch on to P3 because I think P3 might give us a good camera angle. And despite Mr. Bance not liking it, I think this would be a belter camera for the race start.
Green light, give it all you got.
So we've got a green light and off they go, and I don't know how to get rid of that screen. Oh goodness, how do I get rid of that screen? The session has ended. We're getting... Oh, there we are. Epic. So we're off on the way. Timo Braun still holding on to the lead up in P1. Milos is right on his tail. Well, not much of a gap at all between these top guys. And Milos is going up side by side with Timo Braun. He's going to go side by side. Is he going to yield? Yes, Timo has to back out of that, and Milos gets into the P1 spot. Quite a good battle going on with these guys. Moving down the field, let me see if we can see any more action. We've got a DT, I don't know what that means. Forgive me. Push, meanwhile, in the Aston. Nice little gap up ahead. Oh, what have we got up ahead? Up ahead. I don't know these cars. See if we can get a better camera angle. Well, Mr. Bailey Thompson off the side, and he clips Novak. Novak runs off track. Oh a big crash between Push and Novak and Thompson. Goes to show you just the slightest little touch in these cars and they get sent to the wall. Val getting a little bit sideways. We've got Mr. Parr in the middle of this between this Bentley and the Merc. But you see what else is happening yet. Further up the field. Up close, Mr. Novak, Mr. Sa. Sa is still hanging onto the back of these guys. These Milos and Timo Braun. We can get a better camera angle. No, don't want that one. Oh, and he runs a little bit deep. Let's get it on board. As he's going to think, trying to go up around the outside. That's a bit of a brave place to go. And he's going to run a bit wide, but he may get a little bit of a good run on the cutback. Nope. Like I said, I am trying to just do this off the cuff, guys. So it's all new to me. So a nice little gap kind of developing between the drivers as we're just scanning down them. Let me see. So yeah, everyone kind of running along in formation. I will switch the camera again, guys, don't worry if you don't like this helicam. I think it's actually quite good. But back up top, Timo is stretching a little bit of a... Well, he's not really... Yeah, he is. He's building and he's got almost just over half a second of a gap over Milos, who has half a second of a gap over Mr. Sa. And then in fourth place, so just over a second behind his light cruiser, the Monza winner. Mr. Kessel says in the chat, Mr. Stevens is lagging like crazy. I know we had a few issues of that last time with Mr. Pixel McCormack. My goodness, he was lagging all over the place. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see any movement in these top three just yet. Quite accomplished Assetto Corsa drivers, so doubtful that they're going to make any mistakes. But Hugo has got himself a little battle because we have up ahead of him the race winner in a light cruiser, and behind him Mr. Is it Striker or Stricter? I'm going to say Stricter. He did a fantastic job last time out in Monza. So I know Hugo is a pretty accomplished driver. I've watched him a lot, raced him a lot. Pretty quick guy himself and pretty good in the original Assetto Corsas, but I think maybe struggling a little bit in this new Assetto Corsa ACC. And he's got his work ahead of him here in front with the light cruiser and in front of him and Mr. Stricter behind. Everyone following nicely now in formation, just looking down the order. And there's no real battles to speak of, although in saying that... how am I going to pronounce that? Vijanis? Number 16 in the... what is that? Isn't that an Aston? Yeah. P16 in the Aston. He's closing up nicely here to... oh, Stricter. I think that's... the Ollie Stricter? Are they brothers? You know, something tells me, you know... a little bit of an inkling tells me that Mr. P10 and Mr. P6 are brothers. I don't know. Oh, Hugo runs a little bit wide and Stricter's right in there on him to capitalise on that little bit of a mistake. Unforgiving in this Assetto Corsa. A little bit of a tap as we've seen early with Bailey. A little bit of a tap sends the car off, and as well as that, the guys are so evenly matched. But just the slightest little bit of a mistake. But we see Mr. Stricter a little bit wide there, and then Hugo is trying to kind of wedge a little bit of a gap there, trying to say, hello, I'm here. I want that gap back. I want that place back. But Milos, we missed the... sorry, forgive me. We have missed a move for P2. Milos has lost out P2 to SSA. SSA is now marching an assault now to try and close down that 2-second gap that Timo has. Timo's sitting nicely there, 2-second gap, and it is growing. It is growing. So Timo is looking pretty comfortable up at the front. But I wonder, can I get a better... oh my goodness. Yeah, see, that is actually quite handy, guys. I don't know if that's bothering anyone, that big scoreboard there, but that's really handy for streaming because I can keep an eye on all the deltas, as we can see. Oh, that's a car. As we can see here. Oh, who's that? Smelt. We have the Bentley off. The Bentley is off, and we have a car as well. Was that... who was that off with him? Why is this jump? Why does this not follow in formation? So yeah, anyway, we can see here that on this screen I'm able to see the delta. So we can see here that Veltman, Hagrid himself, the legend, Mr. Niels, and who's, I believe he's actually only bought the game. He actually only bought this game. And there he is running up in P8. Putting the charge and the pressure under Mr. Sean Oliver, my fellow countryman. Ironically, whenever I do the typical stereotypical Irish accent, people say I don't sound Irish. But if I speak my accent, which is not Irish at all, they say I sound more Irish. So I don't know, man. Anyway, looking down the time. Oh, we got Veltman off the track a little bit wide. And am I missing this? No, I'm not missing it. No, I'm not. I'm a little bit tired, guys. I'm old. Yeah, so Stricter. I don't know whether that's a cut, but he's really marching this assault. Oh, give me the onboard. I want an onboard. Oh, there's a great camera. Here, we'll go with this one. See what he's doing here. Getting a bit of onboards. As Stricter here, he's his brother up ahead, I think. Up ahead. And I don't think any, not even necessarily, oh, excuse me, not necessarily team orders, but I don't even think brother orders or family orders are going to come into play here. Stricter could hold him up a little bit, but you see, up ahead we've got Stricter has got Sean Power, who is pretty handy in the Assetto Corsa League and the racing. He's racing cars. And yeah, this little battle going on here, what, between 6th and 9th, is really, looking down the field, the closest, although we do have El Taurus, or Mr. El Taurus, closing up on Novak. Novak looks closer to on screen. Yeah, he is. Here we go. There's the Deltas now. So the Delta. Oh, and he's going for the move. He's going for the move. He's trying to go up the inside of Meshman. Oh my goodness, these guys, you're gonna have to give me a pronunciation class here on these names, because I'm just not as articulate as the legend Mr. Terra Incognito. But yeah, Novak closing up on the back of P12 and Meshman. I can't say that name. Meshman is yeah, really must be feeling this pressure. As Novak is having a little bit of a look, and he actually compromised his exit there of that corner, and he's lost it massively, and now El Taurus is closed up onto the back of him. Oh, but up ahead, P9 is right on the gearbox, not necessarily, right on the boot space, or the spoiler of Stricter. I'm not sure what this 25 means. What's the 25? 26 seems to be switching. If anybody can let me know what that means, because that means absolutely nothing to me. 60, 25. Yeah, up ahead. Stricter is right on the back here of, can I get a better camera angle? Of Sean. And he's going for it. He's side by side. Very fast right. He backs out though. And he's got the offline. Oh, he runs off wide! Just positioning his car is really putting the pressure on Stricter. He's going to have a wide line. He's going to run offline. Stricter's really got a fantastic position here. He's just got enough car length. Yeah, and Sean has to back out of that one. That was a really great positioning by the P7 man. Stricter positioned his car lovely there. The twin turbo racing, I see. That's what it is. Positioned his car beautifully. That it just puts all the pressure on Mr. Power. He can't cut in too tight, otherwise he'll take the car out. He cuts in too tight, he'll take himself out. But then, of course, he's given himself such an acute angle. Oh, but Power really hitting the brakes. This is quite a nice little battle here we have. It is the closest battle I can see looking down the deltas. So we're going to run on board with these guys just for a while. And oh, so I need to keep a wee eye on there, because up ahead we've got P5 is also very close, light cruiser I believe that is, to Hugo, and Hugo was up to P4. I don't know where that came from. I didn't see that. See, that's the beauty of having a co-commentator. He can have like a second pair of eyes, like kind of look over what's happening. But yeah, I'm watching this this light cruiser battle. He's closing up on the back of Hugo. Half a second now. The closest real battle going, other than P14, it is the closest battle on track. So we're gonna stay on board this, and I've got a really pretty cool camera angle. I really like this one here, guys. I think that's really pretty neat camera. You can even look at the guy. Look what he's doing. Switch between the switch to these cameras and see what you think. This is of course, more or less just it is just a fun league that we're doing here. So you can tell by the fact that they don't have a very professional commentator. But yeah, I'm just using this as a test, really, guys. So for a bit more feedback, you have to do it wrong in order to figure out what to do right. So, oh, that's a good camera angle. But yeah, skipping through these camera angles, anybody, if you anything you like or anything you don't like, let me know in the chat. 6 people watching and nobody talking. Although 2 of those people one is me and one is Kitty. So anyway, not as much yeetage going on as there was in the Monza race, but Taurus is really closing up on the back of Meerschmann. I know I'm saying that wrong. In the Ferrari. Up against the Lexus. Now, I remember Bance was saying in the run-up to the testing in this league, he was doing a lot of testing in that Lexus, and he kind of thought, he said to me, because I was going to team up with Bance, he kind of said to me, hey, if we're going to do this, it was all hush-hush, you know, if we're going to do this, we're going to jump into the Lexus because it's OP. And then, oh, we have some feedback. We have some feedback in the chat. Mr. Nathan Guth, hope I'm saying that right, says the number after their names would be their ping. No. Ah! Now that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. So let me just skip through. So who do I know has a good connection? Well, Milosh would have an absolute trash connection. So let's go and see Mr. Martica. It should be pretty rubbish. Nah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I think you could be right there, Nathan. I think you could be bang on to that now. But yeah, stricter here. It's really hard to keep a track of these guys because you see, I'm more used to the Formula 1 streams because whenever you see a guy like 0.2 of a second behind him, you think, oh, we're gonna see a move here, we're gonna see a dive. But not in Assetto Corsa. Just because they're that close does not necessarily mean that we're gonna see a move. Of course, there is no DRS, so all these guys are gonna have to do it on track, and it is a good. I think it is a better test really of driver's ability as we see a move. Did I see a move? A driver's ability, Assetto Corsa, because you don't really have all those little perks of ERS that you would get in Formula 1 and the DRS as well. It's there are some slight alterations to the cars. Yes, some cars are better in corners, some cars are better in straights. You know, but ultimately it does come down just to the driver ability. And that is the beauty, I think, of the Assetto Corsa and these GT3 cars, or I think the GT3s. I don't know. You do see more just pure racing ability. Just some guys are just faster than others, and we do know up at P1 there, Timo is very quick in this game. Well, he was definitely quick in the original. Just as these deltas are flicking around, Mr. Stricter is pushing up on here, but I don't know. It's kind of a tricky track to pass because and Power gets a little bit wide again. He ran wide there before. This is the last place where Stricter caught him a little bit sideways. Or sorry, a little bit on the back end of his car, side by side, as they're coming down to the tight right-hander. But we're gonna have Sean Power is actually gonna have the advantage here because this is the I believe. Give me on cam. Give me a better cam. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to have to back out of that one. But is he going to get the cut back? No, we don't want to cut down too tight. He does, of course, have his... I think that's his brother pushing on the back end of him. You can see there in the review camera. So this is quite a battle these guys are having. I think from the watching the last race, the P8 man O Stricter was a fraction slower than C Stricter. So I don't know if there's going to be any family orders. You know, let me have a go at Mr. Power. But so far, Mr. Power is doing a great job, as I, forgive me, correct my headset. And a few moments there, Stricter's watching it. You can see a few little errors that Strict Power makes. He kind of runs deep in a few corners. And let me see if I'm on board. Watching that the McLaren, I know the McLaren is supposed to be a pretty decent car in the Assetto Corsa. You know, really, really great in the corners, but a little bit twitchy. And what you can see here from Mr. Power, Stricter seems to be a lot more smoother with this the Merc. I think also from my very limited experience of SEC that the Merc is a very fast car in the straight line. And there's my notorious streaming hiccups I seem to get whenever I stream. But yeah, just looking down the order here, I don't see any changes, and there doesn't seem to be any likely changes. Although P14 is still close to Mr. Schmearsman. Again, no pit stops, guys. 0 pit stops, so this is a 45-minute race to the end. And I don't know how the tyre wear goes on in these cars. I think ultimately what we found out in this past stream is that I don't really know very much. Oh, Mearshman runs a little bit deep there, and LT Taurus, or L Taurus, gets a good... Oh, and he did a little bit of a nudge. I think that was a little bit of a nudge, and he gets sent off track. I don't want to call that. I just got the tail end of that. It looked like a little bit of a tap. And if that was a little bit of a tap, Mr. LT Taurus, or Miss L Taurus, I can't pronounce these names, guys. Give me something easier. Just call yourself, look, my name's easy, Bob. You can't get much more easy than that, Bob. You know? But yeah, I don't know if that was a little bit of a tap. If it was, Mr. Taurus will be livid with that, because he was mounting an attack there. But looking up the field, we'll scroll back to this battle here with the Brothers in Power. The Brothers in Power, that's a good name. The Brothers in Power. And these two lovely twin-turbo racing Mercs. And I'll tell you what, guys, I really hate headsets. Arrgh! Can't stand headsets. Anyway, this is effectively a 45-minute stream of me moaning, effectively. Yeah, but... kind of want to keep on board with these guys because it is the closest battle, but we need to give a few people a bit more streaming. I'll click away quickly because Mr. Lightcruiser doing a good job on that McLaren, but this guy, as I was saying earlier, was giving me a bit of jip earlier. You driving McLaren? You driving McLaren? He was saying, and I was reminding him that no, actually, I'm a Renault Megane driver. But I was considering not giving him any streaming time, but alas, I'm a good soul. I have a warm heart, very forgiving. So here we are, he's getting a little bit of stream time. In fact, let's put him under a little bit of pressure. And let's get a visual footage of him before he bottles his lap. There he is there. Look at him there, with his wee red suit. Isn't he great? Look at him turning this wee steering wheel. Ah, he's lovely. Plane X Smackham Racing. Oh, that's a pretty neat camera. Let's run up on board with Milosz. Mr. Milosz, just. That's about the only Polish I know, just. And I do know other Polish words, but they are not family friendly, and this is a family friendly stream. And running on board with Minos, I'm reckoning because SLR is not getting a... Whoa, if that is... Hey, I tell you what, let me change the camera because that's quite loud. If that is a... your ping, then Mr. Star has quite a large ping. No sexual innuendos. As we seen, he did run off a little bit track there, a little bit dirty. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm not quite so sure that it was a mistake. It could have been a mistake by Milos for Saha to get past, because Milos, since then, that was quite an early pass. That's quite loud. It was quite an early pass. He's kind of keeping within this 1.5 second gap, although he isn't really closing it down. So I don't know, but we have a move going on here. Van Hooding must have had a little bit of a mistake. He must have got a little bit sideways. Oh, as we have Strichter, a little touch in the back. That looked a little like a little bit of a tap. There's the camera angle I love, guys. That is the only camera to race in this game. Look at that big vent. Epic. Look at that. The turbo, that thing must be sucking in everything. It must be. That's why they have. Look, tell you what. That's why they have the spectator standing so far back, because the suction in that thing must be sucking in little children and baby sheep. Thank goodness, look at the size of that thing. Sucking in all that air to give it all that power down these straights.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
Well, there we go, the most depressing voice you have ever heard. We are at the halfway mark. So halfway mark, guys, this is flying in. And I absolutely love that camera angle. That is the camera angle I race in. And I know that little, as we would say in Northern Ireland, that wee slabber in P4 would complain to me, Tipsy, why are you using that camera? Oh, blue flags! Blue flag? Where's the blue flag? They're not getting lapped, are they? What? Hang on a minute. Where's the blue flags? No. Who's getting the blue flag? Oh, as we have a little bit of a move. Strichter's trying to have a little bit of a look here on Power. Mr. Power has been battling these guys for this position since the beginning, as he dives down the inside and he does get the move done. Let's see if he can hold on to it this time. We did see him get a little bit wide earlier on in the race, as he runs a little bit wide there already, and Power almost loses it sideways. Good grip done, good collection there. Oh, look at that McLaren off, like Mr. Oh, and he clicks the back of Power, and he takes out, is that his teammate? My goodness, disaster strikes for the McLaren boys. As Light Cruiser seems to, or Mr. Hooding runs into the back. It looked like off Power. And we have lost the McLarens as they're dropping down the field. Why can I not select? I can't select Power for some reason. And Power has disappeared. Has he left the session? I think he's left this. No, he hasn't. There he is. P11. So massive disaster for him. But no, meanwhile, Novak had a little bit of go, and he gets a little bit of a tap from Vaginis. Oh my god, I can't believe I said it. Vaginis in the, what's that, the Aston. So it's all kicking off now, guys. Halfway session, these tires must be starting to play up on them. So the big loser there was that, what's going on here? Did we see a move? Did I see a move there? No. The big loser is Mr. Power getting tapped from the back from, so he drives for, what's that, Ricardo Motorsport? No, that was the other McLaren team, Trigon Racing. Oh, as we see Vaginis running a little bit wide, so it's starting to happen now, guys. Starting to happen now. Hopefully you're hanging on with me. Hopefully you're staying tuned. I think we're going to see something happening. Yeah, definitely. Novak running wide. Who is that passing him? Who's that passing him? Oh, that's Van Hooding. So Vaginis is I don't know, there seems to be a little bit of an issue there, because Novak is running in front of them on my screen. There we go. Yeah, so Van Hooding, it must have some, I don't know if damage is enabled in this, because he's really seems to be dropping off the field here, these guys. So the passes are happening. Fantastic camera angle. Yeah. Let's run on board with Power as he's watching Van de Hooding? Light cruiser to me, it's Van de Hooding. He's trying to get that position back off Vaginus. This is down the run down to turn 1, the downhill. Oh, a little bit sideways. He's going to clip the end of it. No, he manages to avoid the back end of him. And he's definitely very racy. Light Cruiser is a very punchy racer. We've seen him in the Formula 1 leagues. Doesn't like to hang about. He likes to force the issue, sometimes to his own detriment, as we almost seen, but very accomplished driver in the Formula 2 and the Formula 1. And our only race winner so far in Monza. Not having so much luck this time as he's trying to find a space here. And he's going side by side with Vaginus. Give me a better camera angle. Vaginus hanging on, but this is letting Mr. Power creep up. The question is Mr. Power going to be a little bit impatient? We have a move up the front. This is why a second pair of eyes would have been handy, because Milosh is back up to P2. What, can I not see P2, please? There we go. Why is it doing that? Back up to P2. Hugo. So Mutt is getting lapped. Sa on the back of Hugo as well. So I'll need to try and keep a little bit of an eye on what's going on up there. It is difficult keeping an eye on these guys. So battle for... Oh, as Hugo runs way off. Let's get it on board. Is he going to be able to squeeze up in the back of him? This uphill, slow, long uphill. Yeah, the last time I raced these was the wee Mazda cars in the Assetto Corsa, and quite a fun track. I do kind of forget it, but I know this is a very fast section, easy to lose the car here. But oh, as just as I say that, Sa runs way off track. Not way off, sorry, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, he seems to be really struggling here. Kind of probably overdriving the car, trying to really push to catch Hugo, but I was going to say slow and steady is the wheel, but not necessarily slow and steady, but just consistent. Just try and nail. Forget about trying to catch him as such. Just try and nail consistent laps. And as we all know, a consistent driver is a fast driver, regardless of the times. If you are consistently hitting those lap times, that's all you need. Great camera angle, that. Nobody behind him, so he's no pressure really. Mr. Strichter, who put a fantastic performance last time out. 3.5 seconds away. So unlikely to cause any problems just at the moment for Sa. So if he is going to make a move here and pressurize Hugo as he's closing up on him, up on him, he'll want to get it done soon. Although Strichter is not catching, he's actually getting further away, according to those deltas. So that is a battle to watch. In fact, I will stay on board with these guys. And board this Audi as we watch him mount an attack on Hugo. Try and get that. Oh, and Hugo runs a little bit wide. And it's the Sa. Does Sa capitalise? No. Hugo needs to hang on here. Go back on board with Sa. Really trying to... It's such a difficult track to pass. Pretty even launch off that final corner. Is he going to try and send it down the inside here? Pretty dangerous. That would be a pretty dangerous move. Don't do it. All you have to do is pursue. Oh, was that a little bit of a tap? I think Hugo nearly lost it there, and he's hanging on. He's really feeling the pressure here, guys. Really feeling this is immense pressure Sa's putting on him, and he has to, because behind him, Strichter, who was 3.5 seconds behind, he's dropped that now to 2.3 seconds. He is closing. He is catching. He is fast, Mr. Strichter. He's down to just under 2 seconds now. Sa needs to push here. He needs to do what he can to catch Hugo to get this P3. He does not want to have to start falling back to defend his P4 against Stricker. He'll want Hugo to have that hassle. So Sa is going to find himself in a whole hot of bother here, because he's got a battle in front of him, but he's going to have a battle behind him. As we're going to try and run on board with... Oh shit, sorry, forgive me, that's a swear word. Let's have a little look at that suction twin turbo racing body vent, as he slowly, gradually, consistently creeping up on Sa, closing in each corner, each lap, slowly mounting that pressure. As a driver, you will be mindful of those gaps of the guy behind, and you will be noticing as you cross your first delta, you go, okay, he's 3.5 seconds, no problem. Then you have a little glance and he's 3 seconds, then another glance and he's suddenly 1.9 seconds. You realize he's fast, you realize he's catching. That starts playing a little bit of a mind game, a mind battle with yourself, realizing, my goodness, I'm going to be under pressure here. So then that puts kind of unnecessary pressure on yourself, thinking, I need to push here, I need to get this place. And you start overdriving the car, and actually you can end up going slower. As we see, he's now 1.7 seconds. Close that gap to 1.7 seconds. On Sa, he's coming for you, Sa. He's coming. The Mercedes is coming for its arch rival, I think. The Audi. Although I think could possibly be the Porsche. But Sa, yeah, this delta is switching between. Oh, Hugo runs wide again. I think he's running wide a few times there. Sa. So Sa will probably, as he runs wide again, Hugo's really pushing here. He's either pushing, or he's got an issue with these tires, or he's got an issue with setup. I don't know. But we have just over 11 minutes to go, guys. 11 minutes to go. I think the race lead or win is pretty much in the bag from pretty much lap 3. Timo Brown. But yeah, this battle for P3 is far from over. We have Stricker is now up to just a fraction of a second behind Sa. He's close from 3.5 seconds. Problem is, he's got 2 cars in front of him. 2 fast guys. Now we know he's obviously quick because he's closed up the gap. But what may happen is, he'll close up this gap and then he can't get any quicker. He can't close anymore. Because you've got a problem of then fighting these guys to try and get past him. And it's one thing trying to pass one car, one fast guy, one fast accomplished driver on Brands Hatch, but to try and pass 2? I wouldn't like to have the challenge. But everyone is susceptible to succumbing to a bit of pressure, and if you mount enough of it, everyone will crack. And so far, Hugo Cutty, or Hugs as I like to call him, don't know if he likes it, but I call him Hugs, doing a great job so far. He is holding the pressure here, holding him back, running wide a little few times. Oh! I thought that was going to end in tears. Very late on the brakes, Saha. So why do I keep calling him Saha? Sa is really late in the brakes. He's really pushing it. This is I fear, guys, I've done a lot of streaming of races, not many of Assetto Corsa, but just a lot of Formula 1 racing. And I fear when you get the cars this close for that final podium position, and they're getting desperate, and we'll see how close these guys are. And of course, Stricter's going to be right on the back end. He's under a second. We are going to see a little bit of pit work flying, possibly a bit of body work as well. And for all you know it, P6 man, Stricter, could capitalise. It's not over yet, guys. This is far from over. A little bit of lag there. And I haven't actually seen anybody complaining on the stream about audio levels or stream quality, so hopefully the stream quality is good. And I'm a bit sad there's nobody commenting, because the last thing I've got was Nathan. So nobody's talking to me. Talk to me, people. Talk to me. Talk to me. Ooh. Okay, I promised I wouldn't sing. But I've just realised Sal's car, his team is called a stinky toad. A stinky toad. What's wrong with toads? Toads don't smell. Toads are lovely. Did you know, random fact, the male... Oh, Hugo runs deep! Is Sal going to be able to capitalise? He's side by side. Not quite side by side. Goes to show you guys, as we're getting into the latter stages, mistakes start to happen. I can tell you from experience, an opportunity for me to flex to the millions watching. All 6 of you? All 3? All 3 of you? That would be 2 of me. I get the flex that in the Imola, whenever I won, yes, I won in the Lamborghini, I was leading by quite a good gap, and the last few laps, guys, was torture because I had never won a race in Assetto Corsa, and I got a P2 in Monza, but oh, what's that up ahead? What's that up ahead? Is that who is that up ahead? Oh, it's Gobes. So Gobes is gonna get lapped. So here we are. This is a potential issue for Mr. Cotti. This could be a potential issue for Mr. Cotti as he's coming up to a lapped car. Lapping cars is an issue, and generally it's not an issue if it's the right track, but oh, he gets out of the way nicely. Oh, that was fantastic. Fair play to Mr. B. Gobes. He picked a very smart place to do that. Very smart place, so that's a good bit of track knowledge from him, knowing that that will be a good place to let the guys pass. Gets well off the racing line, doesn't interfere for this battle for P3. My goodness, we do have quite a battle, and this is going to go right to the end for this P3 battle. Fireworks are going to... I still predict it, guys. I'm still predicting it. Something's going to happen. Something's got to give. I'll quickly give a little bit of a run out to Timo Braun, who did a fantastic highlight reel of the first race because they didn't have a stream. For Blitz... What's that? Blitzig Racing Team. I know he will find that hilarious that I cannot pronounce that, but Blitzig Racing Team, he's currently P1, dominating this racing session, pole position, and didn't look like losing it after the first couple of laps. It's just back to normality for Timo. Normality restored from the Assetto Corsa leagues. The Assetto Corsa 1. Very dominant driver in the Assetto Corsa. And another great driver who we don't have here is Mr. Daniel Cofield, or Danny Co, as I know him in the F1 leagues. Very, very, very good driver in the Formula 1, and a very good accomplished driver in the Assetto Corsa 2. Milos Martika, who was an absolute disaster, let's say, whenever he first joined 2S. He kind of just yeeted around and kind of just messed about, but got his head down, and we've seen him mature, not only on track, but as in person, we've seen him mature, and he's matured into quite an intelligent, sensible young man on the best of days. And yeah, he's got his head down, and he shows he's got quite a good bit of pace in these cars. 10 seconds off the lead, yes, of Timo, but nicely positioned for a guaranteed P2. So it's going to be a P1. I just realised P1, P2 for the Blitzig Racing Team. So a maximum clappage, gamer talk, or maximum points, professional talk for the Blitzig Racing Team. Meanwhile, this battle for P3 is ongoing as we are down to just over 4.5 seconds left of this race. And Sa is still mounting the pressure on Hugo. Hugo showing big I was going to say big couilles. That's a French word. Big couilles. Sure you can figure out what it means. And he's looking really accomplished here, not showing really any signs of succumbing to this pressure from behind. A few off-track moments, possibly just a few bit of lack of concentration, maybe. But so far, he's hanging on with this pressure, although Sa is really close now. Really close. And I think it's only a matter of time before we see something happening with a stinky toad team of Sa. Yes, I was saying earlier, the random fact, did you know that the male bullfrog... Oh, Sa gets a little bit twitchy and he's going to lose it. Oh, he's going to massively lose it. And after that fantastic performance by him, spins the car, loses out P4, and he's going to lose a mountain of pace here. He loses out to Saka as well. Stricter in, and does he lose out to Novak? Might have a little bit of a loss of traction. He somehow holds on, but Novak in the background is going to be looking to capitalise. He'll know that Sa will have dirty tires as we see Sa really struggling here. So a breath of fresh air behind Hugo as he sees, after all that mounted pressure from Sa, he ends up yeeting himself. And I did call it, guys. When you start pushing the latter stages of the race, you see that final podium position, you kind of overdrive the car. You push too hard. And that is what possibly happened there. And as I'm saying push, we don't have push. Well, I think we did have push, but I think we have lost a couple of drivers. Forgive me if I don't pick up who. But yeah, so Sa has lost out there. So let's move back up and see, is Mr. C... I think I heard that's Christian Stricter. Let's see if he's able to do anything on Hugo. But actually, in saying that, Novak 0.2 of a second on Sa. Although I don't think that is correct, because he looks a little bit more than 0.2 of a second to me, as we see across the line. And yes, he is indeed the big brain moment there. Not really, but he is about just under a second behind Mr. Sa, as Mr. Sa is now managed to shake off that dirt on his tires and mount an attack on Mr. Stricter. So we're going to get Stricters in Striker or Stricter in P4 and P5. So some good team performances here, as we're getting Timo in P1 and his teammate Miloš in P2. And then in P3 and P4, Twin Turbo Racing. Again, I could be completely wrong, but I mean, I'm kind of going on the fact that they're teammates and they're both Stricter.
Okay.
Pretty sure they're brothers. Maximum points for them. And the leader is on the final lap. So I'll tell you what we'll do, guys. I think it's only right, if we can just make it work, that we get a lovely helicam video footage, camera angle, because I know he likes it, of Timo Braun, Blitzig Racing Team. Dominant performance. Although I am keeping my eye closely on that P3. A dominant performance from Timo, pole position, and although there was a little bit of an assault on him by his teammate and Miloš Martika, he never really looked like losing it after the third spot. And the final few corners, I believe. Just a quick check on Stricter. I don't think he's going to do it. So back up to Timo on the helicam. I know he likes it, and I'm quite a fan myself, as he's coming round. Whereabouts is he actually? Is he near the end of this lap? Let me just check. Yes, he's coming to the final corner, and as he crosses the line, 31 laps, I think that's 32 laps completed, and we have our race winner. It's Brands Hatch, Timo Braun, and coming around the line is his teammate Miloš. Maximum points for Blitzig Racing. P3. Oh, we got a crash! We've got a crash! I knew I should have stayed with it. Hugo and Stricter. So does that mean Ollie can't capitalise? I think I may have called that. I said Ollie may indeed get the P3. I think Hugo does have, he has P4. Stricter. What happened there? Stricter gets P3, but he's very slow. I think he's actually waiting for Hugo. He is waiting for Hugo. Hugo's off. So Stricter, you're going to have to finish here. You're going to have to finish, Stricter. You're going to lose out. What's happening here? No. The race is over. What am I talking about? Madman. Oh my goodness. So something happened at the end and Hugo did indeed lose out. P3 to C Stricter. So Stricter takes P3, the final podium position. Hugo P4, and the teammate of C Stricter, Twin Turbo Racing, gets the P5. So good points position for him. Don't Kiss Me team Marius SL Taurus takes P10, and yeah, the guys are leaving now. And well, there you go, people.
Green light, go, go, go.
Green light, go, go, go. That is it. Our race winner is indeed Timo Braun. So I will now switch off from that, and we were going to get, hopefully, some interviews. I might need to adjust the volume down a little bit, and let me see if I can get some interviews. I'm going to just do a bit of yoinkage here. So I think the guy we need to yoink in is Mr.
Oh, hello.
It's alright, keep going.
Well, it doesn't make any sense while I'm here.
Well, I'm going to drag yourself, Timo, and Bilosh in.
Okay.
There we are. Is it Blitzig Racing? I think I got that right, Timo.
It's Blitzig Racing Team. The most offensive name we could think of.
Oh.
For a German-Polish combination, that had to happen.
All right. Well, yes. So, guys, congratulations on the team maximum clappage. Blitzig. I can't pronounce these things. I've been really struggling today in the stream pronouncing people's names. I mean, Meerschman, I think I'm pronouncing that as well. I kept on saying it wrong.
Vagianius?
Yeah, I kept on saying
Pretender, yeah.
But yeah, so pole position, first of all, for you, Timo. Milos kind of had it for a while, and then I kind of missed your pole lap. You snatched the pole away from him. And then the race, from what I seen, the race was kind of a close battle between yourself, Milos, and Sa. And Milos kind of had a go at you from the first couple of laps, and then I think after maybe lap 3, you kind of started to stretch a gap and then kind of controlled it from there on. So if you want to give us kind of a talk through how your race went, and as well as and you too, Timo, or Milos.
You go first, or
yeah, sure. Well, yeah. Originally, I was super surprised at the qualifying results, because I was like, well, I'll be happy enough to finish inside the points. Honestly, like I wasn't expecting much. I was like, oh, I've got decent enough pace, but I wasn't really expecting to be right there to qualify 1-2 with Timo, and yeah, it was a really big surprise, and I was really happy. I'm sure Timo was too.
no.
I had a bad lap SMH, but yeah, I was ecstatic. The race came along, and I was just hyped. I was ready to go. I was fully expecting. I was fully excited to get that 1-2 home. Yeah, I kind of got a bit of a better start than Timo, and I got heading for momentarily for a bit. Then he got me back again a few corners later. After I think it was lap 3ish, I made a little mistake when Shahab was going for a pass, and I got on the curb and lost traction and lost the position to him.
Yeah, that's what I was. See, I was kind of keeping a wee eye on you guys, top 3 racing each other, and then you just were kind of neutralizing each other in terms of your gaps. So I was kind of watching a battle further back, but then I did see that switch. So I switched back to you later on in the race, and I seen that you were kind of keeping that gap kind of consistent. So I guessed that it was probably a mistake. But it looked very early on to me that whenever I seen you and Timo, the gaps, although Timo did have quite a healthy gap from P2, you also had a very healthy gap to P3. To the point where you didn't really need to push too much, and I did say it on the stream that it's pretty much a maximum clappage, maximum points for the Blitzkrieg racing, because it was very comfortable. It was a very comfortable race for you in effect. Surprisingly, there wasn't actually that much yeetage, contrary to the first race in Monza, which there was a bucket load.
Really?
Yeah.
Only 14 people finished.
There was in what race?
This
one.
time.
We got 10 DNFs.
Yeah, but I actually think it was more. I don't know if it was. Well, maybe we'll see if there's any reports from what I've seen. I think I caught quite a lot of the footage. There was an issue between Van der Hudding, a light cruiser. He ran into the back of Sean Parr, or I think it's Sean, isn't it? He ran into the back of
Shane.
Oh, Shane. Sorry, apologies. Yeah, he ran into the back of him. I don't know whether he missed the brakes, and there was a massive yeetage between those guys. And then there was an issue with whenever Sa was behind Hugo. I kind of said it in the latter stages. He was putting an immense amount of pressure on Hugo, but I kind of think that he was pushing a little bit too hard, and then he ended up yeeting himself. And then I'm going to bring in Hugo in after I talk to you guys to find out what actually happened for P3, because Hugo was controlling P3 for quite a while, and then I see he lost it out to Stricter. But Timo, if you want to give us anything at all, if you have anything to say about your race, how it went for you.
So I don't know. I have this this self-deprecation thing where suddenly, like, I'm not actively sandbagging, but my brain seems to sandbag for me, because as soon as the practice before the race hits, I'm just suddenly very shit. And I don't know, like my previous best, my previous PB with quali fuel was a 24.5, and I thought, okay, well, that's good, maybe like top 5 or something. And my previous PB on like full fuel load was a 24.8. And but then in the practice before it, I could only do 25.5, so I was very concerned because my pace just didn't seem to be there. And then Kirst set the 24.2, and I was like, okay, I'm not getting pole then, because there's no chance I can do that, because I knew my PB was a 24.5, and that was when I didn't choke. So I thought, okay, I'm screwed. And then I had that one lap. I set a 25.2. And then over the next lap, I suddenly went a second up on that one. And I knew, oh, this is going to get close. I might actually do a good lap. And then I was 3,000 of Kirst. And I knew, oh dear, this is going to be a shootout. And then I managed to improve a little bit, and I think Kirst bottled this sector, so I was on pole. And at that point, the pressure started kicking in like real hard, because you don't want to bottle that ever. And then the start happened, and as always, I kind of dropped the ball a little. Kirst was ahead of me, and I tried so hard not to crash with him, but I really wanted to be ahead of him, because in case anyone remembers the normal Assetto Corsa League last season with the GT3s, Brands Hatch, I had done very much practice as well as Kirst. And I was stuck in P2 behind Pretorius for the entire race, like 25 minutes, where I couldn't get past anyone. Past him, and I had to finish P2 because of that. There's no overtaking spot, so I knew I had to be ahead of Milot. And so I tried really hard on that one. He didn't give me that hard of a time. And after that, I just had him like 1 second behind me, and I knew we can technically go the same pace, but whoever is going to make more mistakes is going to drop back, and that is incredible pressure, because you can't just underdrive, then the other guy's going to catch up. And I was very happy to see that I got like 3 seconds, and then he got into a fight with Shah. And I at that point I was getting a little bit comfortable. I made some mistakes, like some laps were like a second off my PB or something, but it was in general pretty fine. And towards the end, after Shah was gone and I saw Kirst was behind me by 9 seconds or 8, and at that point I was thinking, I don't want to say that loud. I was thinking at that point, please make it a 1-2. I'm so happy that none of us bottled it, and it feels great. I'm also very happy for Kirst who managed to get that. To be honest, like, yeah, this is gonna come up rude, off rude. But when we were like getting together in teams, and I saw just Terra and Hugos as teammates because they were the teammates of Kirst and myself last season,
Yeah.
and they gave us the setups and everything. And so I thought, well, I mean, Kirst is good, but I can't leech setups off of him, and he can't leech setups off of me. So we're gonna have a problem, and we're gonna face a real uphill fight. And now we finished ahead of Yugos for both races. Of course, he got into incidents, and like it wasn't his fault for the first race, and Tara wasn't there. But like at that rate, I feel confident that we two are strong enough to at least have a chance if we play our hands right to challenge for constructors title. And that feels really good.
Well, I think the performance you guys put on today was pretty impressive. I was giving Beanosh quite a bit of praise in it because I did say that when he gets his head down, he does have the pace. And you guys, you were quicker than Hugo. I mean, I was keeping over it. You were on track quicker. He wasn't really closing up on you, although we did have the issue with Saha on the back of him. But yeah, I think that it would have been nice to have seen Bance and Terror as well taking part, and it would have been a better gauge. But I mean, today you guys as a team unit were the outstanding performance. So again, congratulations to you both. And I think with that kind of performance, it's kind of sent a message to the rest of the guys that, you know, you just can do it. You just got the pace and 1-2s. I wouldn't be surprised, put it this way, that if you don't get another 1 and 2, to be honest, because I think you were really, really good today. The first couple of laps, especially lap 1, was a little bit of a ahee moment for me watching it. Because I thought, oh my goodness, these guys are like so close. Because like Milos was really having a look at you, like he was really racy, and then eventually dropped back, and then the gap settled. And then he, of course, had his own battle with Saha. But yeah, a great performance, guys, and well done. More as all I can say. I don't really know who's who in the general chat, to be honest. Who I can bring in.
Leglav is Shane Power. Kimmy is Christian Stricker. Drunk Crankshaft is Oliver or O Stricker. And I don't know who our 166ers is.
All right. I would have liked to get talking to Saha. Well, I'll bring Hugo in, although I see he has muted. So I can't do that. But, well,
Hugo doesn't like
That's
contribute.
Hagrid. Well, Hagrid is Mr. Veltman, but I guess you know that.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll get Hag in. I'll get Hagrid in.
Okay. Thanks for the interview.
No problem, man.
See.
Oh, hello.
Do you need me to move you out here, Timo?
It's fine. I just need...
So, Mr. Hagrid.
Yes, hello.
I got a little bit of footage of you on track. It was ultimately quite a quiet race for many racers, but I did point out to the guys and the people watching that you have literally just bought this game.
Yeah, I bought the game like 5 or 6 hours ago. I bought it at the start when everyone else started buying it, but I didn't really like the handling then, so I refunded it in like a day, I think.
Yeah.
But now that the season started, I've seen some gameplay and stuff. So, and now with the coronavirus, I've got plenty of time. So I kind of just got tempted to buy it, and I just went for it.
Well, I have to admit that I did buy it as well, intending to race, and I didn't like it either. But it's mainly because I've just mind on other things. I can't really race. But enough about me. You just bought this game a couple of hours ago after you said you refunded it, and you finished P7.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised with that because I just started practicing this afternoon a little bit, and it actually at the start it was pretty tough getting used to the handling and stuff, but somehow I got used to it pretty quickly, I think. And at some point I did it like a 27 in practice, and I'm like, that's probably like 7 seconds off the pace, and apparently the fastest lap time people can do was like a 24.
That's right, yeah.
So I was actually surprised, so I started pushing a little bit more, and I think my PB so far has been a 25.1. So,
Yeah,
look,
I was impressed. Although I do get you on the stream. Although I wasn't watching you at that often because there was quite a battle going up just further up ahead.
yeah, there was a lot going on.
Yeah, I think you could be really proud of yourself, Haggard, with little practice time, and you're not that far off on the pace, really. In terms of one lap pace, anyway, you're not that far off. So maybe
Yeah.
a little bit more grinding, man, and you can maybe get more points a bit higher up the field.
Yeah, I already noticed that myself. It was just a little bit down to consistency because I was constantly like somewhere in the middle of the race when the grid started falling down a little bit, where the gap started forming.
Yeah.
I had like 3 or 4 guys in front of me, and I could keep up with them, and then at some laps I would get closer to them, and then like 2 corners later I would make a mistake and lose half a second again. So it's just consistency. But yeah, I think the pace is there. Depends on the track, of course. It might just have been at Brands Hatch is a good track for me. I'm not quite sure what the next track is gonna be.
I'm not sure myself,
See,
but
I see Silverstone.
well, you drive the Merc. You should be pretty decent there because I was saying on the stream that the Merc is actually quite a strong car with just raw straight line speed. So you might do pretty good there. But I was saying on the stream as well that if you can just nail consistent laps, I mean, a consistent driver is a fast driver, really. So a little bit more practice, man, and I think you should maybe get even higher up, maybe P5.
Yeah, possibly, because I felt the pace was there. It was just very, yeah, down to consistency.
Yeah.
I was constantly like finding some time slowly, and then sometimes I just go wide out of a corner and go onto the grass and lose a few tenths again.
Well, I think as a first race, P7 is quite a good finish to finish. A good place to finish, and ultimately it would have been a good practice really for you in terms of handling and in amongst the cars. So you can only get better, Mr. Hagrid. That's all I can say.
Yeah, of course.
But I'll let you get back to the chat, and I'll just try and drag in one more person. I'll try and get in P3, Mr. Stricter. I think that's Kimi.
Yeah, Kimi is stricter. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Hagrid, for taking the time for a little bit of a chat, and
Cheers.
I'll move you back up.
Yeah, have a good one.
Oh, I can't move it. Mr. Kimi, Stricter as it's known on the Assetto Corsa.
Hello.
Yeah, man. I had to find out who's who because I couldn't really tell. And I noticed as I start yoinking people into the interview, everyone suddenly mutes themselves. See that? They're a little bit shy. But yeah, I was watching quite a lot of the action between yourself and you've had quite a few battles.
Yeah, it was pretty much non-stop throughout the race.
But it really started to heat up for me anyway, watching it whenever you had got past, was it Shane Parr? He seemed to get he seemed to get yoinked off by the other McLaren. I think it was like Cruiser Van de Hudding.
Yeah.
And then that freed you up, and then you were like 3.5 seconds behind Sa, and I was commenting on it that you were slowly marching up onto him, and where you got it into like just under a second, and then I seen that eventually. What I seen was Saha kind of messed himself up, put you into the battle with Hugo, and then I called it on the stream that maybe the very end there'll probably be a battle, but I kind of missed it. I don't know what happened, so that's why I've kind of yoinked you in, Kimi, to tell us what actually happened for you to get that P3 off Hugo.
A crash happened. So basically, I was basically behind Hugo for 3 laps or so, just sort of keeping my distance, and then at the end, I decided I'm just going to push it as hard as I can. Got close to him, and then I think. I don't know the corner name, but one of the last corners is a hard braking zone to the left.
Mm-hmm.
There was a back marker blocking him.
Yes.
And this back marker decided to go onto the racing line. And Hugo had braked early, so I thought, okay, it's my chance. I'm going to go up the inside. But as I do that, Hugo cuts across. Not really his fault. He was just trying to avoid the back marker. And then the back marker was just slow and exit. I slightly hit Hugo. Hugo hit the back marker and they spun. And then I slammed my brakes basically to avoid getting punted off into the barrier.
Yeah.
And then I saw a little gap and went past Hugo, and that was P3.
So it's a really annoying, man, because
Yeah.
whenever I was streaming, I was watching the battle for quite a long time, and then the moment I just clip off, I missed the ultimate action. So unfortunately, I didn't get it on stream. So hopefully, someone was recording.
Yeah.
If you want to get it reported, but I think initially your P3 will stand unless there is any reports. I don't know.
I spoke with Hugo, and he blamed the black back marker more than me.
Yeah. Well,
So,
from what you're saying, it does sound to me like it was just a back marker just not getting out of the way, because we seen earlier on there was a back marker, Goobs or Mr. Goobs or Goobs.
Yeah, I think I passed him 3 times.
Well, the time I seen it, he was obviously doing the right way of getting out of the corner, out of the racing line, but as you said, your back marker with the issue didn't. So any footage you have, man, just upload it. But I was just to finish up here, I was kind of catching up on what happened in the first race, and I seen in the first race that you're pretty quick at this Assetto Corsa, so that's why I was expecting to see you up there, and it really is no surprise to me that you got the P3.
Cheers, man.
So congratulations to you, man, and it was a pleasure watching you. One thing I want to ask, because I'm kind of pretty sure, is Stricter your brother?
Yeah, he's my twin, hence the name Twin Turbo Racing.
It's all falling into place now.
I know.
So yeah, I was saying it's kind of a clue that they're Stricter, so I was kind of pretty sure that you're. Yeah. Am I saying that right, Stricter?
Stricker, yeah.
Oh, Stricker. Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, if you watch the stream back, man, you'll see that I kind of waffle and talk absolute rubbish most of the time, but it's kind of difficult doing it on my own. And I kind of murder some of the names, but I think I got yours right. But no, congratulations, man, on the race win. Or sorry, on the. I'm just doing an Ocean Chief here. I'm doing the Ocean Chief here. Chief did, what was it, a stream recently. He says, congratulations on the podium finish. And the guy says, I didn't get the podium.
Oh.
Kind of a brutal one. But no, congratulations on your P3. You were kind of out of it for a while. And I did call it that I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Stricter boys gets the podium. And right enough, you did. So congratulations, man. I will tell you that I'm planning on doing the streams from here on in now for the rest of the season, brilliant. If I can, because I got a lot of crap going on in my own life, but I'm planning on doing all of them. So hopefully, and I'm sure I will, see more battles for you up in those podiums.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, so good luck, man.
I'll try my best.
Good luck anyway. I'm gonna pretty much leave it at that. I was gonna bring your brother in, but the stream's kind of waffling on here, so I'm gonna end it there.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, Kiwi, for joining me on the interview. I'll move you back.
Thanks a lot.
And so there we have it, people. It was kind of a rough one for me. I don't know if it had come across. Hopefully it comes across okay. Anybody who watches it back. Not the most easiest thing to do. First time streaming on Assetto Corsa. First time on Brands Hatch. First time streaming on Assetto Corsa Competizione. I just figured out the controls like 10 minutes before the race. And I am kind of winging it on myself. I'm kind of winging it myself. So, yes, we have Milos just informing us on the chat here. The first number is the position and then the race number. Okay. So, thank you, Milos. This is kind of an experiment for me, kind of seeing how it goes. Things to improve. Well, if anybody has any feedback in terms of just the streaming quality, the streaming experience that you're watching this, any of the guys who do watch it back, I know a lot of guys do watch it back. If you can let me know in terms of the camera work, what would you like with the camera work? Something I'm kind of critical on other people with the camera work. I'm sure there's improvements to be made there for me. That was the first time on Assetto Corsa. I will listen it back to myself to check the audio levels as well. But yeah, if there is any improvements that's all to be made, or any suggestions, any feedback at all, guys, please Don't be shy. Any criticisms as well. I mean, I'm a big man. I'm a grown man. I can take a criticism because that's how you improve. You cannot improve from success. You only improve from failure. So if anybody has any advice, any suggestions whatsoever to improvements at all, get them in, guys. DM them to me privately, or get them sent into the 2S Discord server. I'm sure most people will be on it. Get them fired into there, and we'll discuss them, and we'll try and, as the season progresses, we'll try and improve the experience. Hopefully, I want to get more stuff for the stream as well, maybe a bit more graphics, maybe a few more animations going. Maybe possibly if someone is a talented person out there and can make a highlights reel, that would be epic. That is one of my own suggestions. I would love someone to get a highlights reel. And the only other thing for me also I would like to get would be, I really would like to get a co-commentator, because I don't know how to come across me waffling. I do just kind of wing it, but it might sound like I'm pretty calm, because I am a reasonably calm guy, but in my head, it's a lot of pressure trying to keep in track of what everyone's doing. Thankfully, there's no pit stops, because that would have added an extra dilemma to it. If I can get someone to co-commentate with me, someone that knows their racing, knows Assetto Corsa, and kind of someone that knows me really and can bounce off me, I would be more than happy to let someone jump in beside me and jump into bed beside me, so to speak, and do this with me. But yeah, that is all to come. So normally how I finish these streams off is letting people know what's up and coming. Excuse me. So tomorrow, a little bit of a plug for them. They probably won't even hear it, but I'll plug it anyway. Tomorrow is the DMR Formula 1 racing, the Tier 2. I'm in that one. Me and Chief, our teammates, my old buddy, my old man, my old mucker, my old schmuck, Mr. Chief Man himself, will be joining me in the Haas for the Tier 2 DMR race. That will be streamed. I don't know if it's streamed on EGL. I think it may be streamed on the Twitch channel. So if anyone is interested in that, get the request in. We'll get those links out. And then Thursday is the what happens is there's Thursday. I actually, do you know what? I'm not even going to call it because I can't remember. But usually there's a race Thursday, Friday. I think there might be a Tier 3 SLR. Saturday upcoming will be SLR Day, where we're going to have the SLR Tier 1 race. I think there's actually a couple of races. There's the Tier 2 as well. And then back with 2SRL on Sunday will be the Formula 1 again, Tier 1 and Tier 2, respectively. So yeah, quite a bit of action still to come, guys. But anyone who's just interested in the Assetto Corsa, up next is next week, next Monday. All being well, I will be streaming it, hopefully with a co-commentator, hopefully with a bit more, images and a bit more polished streaming experience for everyone, including myself. We will be at Silverstone on Monday, same time, to do it all over again. So if you've hung on 45 minutes, or I don't know how long the stream has been going, too long, I'm sure many people are saying. If you have hung on, thank you very much. And if you're wanting a little bit more, well, don't worry, because I will be back next Monday, same time, to do all the streaming for Silverstone. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.